not trying to think about innovating, you're in trouble. And the bigger an industry is, or the bigger a company is, and if you've been fortunate to have some success, the harder it is because people don't like to take risks, or they're bigger and more bureaucratic, and to get them to move. I think the thing at the NFL, just to highlight one thing, and we've done a lousy job of telling our story, is on player health and safety, because I would say right before Roger Goodell became commissioner, at the tail end of Paul Tagliabue's tenure, it started to become a real issue. And I know how it gets covered in all forms of media. This is not directed at the Globe. But the league has partnered with companies like General Electric and Under Armour, or public entities like the Department of Defense, and invested literally hundreds of millions of dollars in partnership with our players, our money, to see the types of work and research we can do to look at injuries, how they happen, look at our equipment, and think about how we can improve it. And I could literally talk about this for an hour. I'll just give one very quick example. If you look back over the last 5 years, every traumatic brain injury that's happened in practice, because every practice is filmed from multiple angles, or in a game, has been broken down by every camera angle that exists for it, by position, and then categorized, so that by position on the field, we could look, a running back is susceptible to concussions in a very different way than a quarterback is, or than a defensive back is, or a lineman is. And literally building up personal profiles by position, and then looking at each brand of helmet. This goes back a little bit. And then what could be done by helmet type to create helmets that truly by position, because some positions, the majority of the concussions come at this point. Some come on the side, some come on the back. And how we can create new equipment in partnership with our equipment manufacturers. And we then take that data, and so concussions in the NFL, and I'm not lobbying for people who don't want their kids playing football, my kids have. But what I would say is we've then taken that data to the other contact sports, hockey, lacrosse, to the military, because so many traumatic brain injuries happen there, and taken that and given it to them, and also used it to improve our game. And we're doing it with ankle and foot injuries and sneakers and turf technology. And like I said, I don't have the time, but I'd say that's an important part of innovating, helping to keep the game safer for the players and more enjoyable for the fans, because they want to see the best players staying on the field. And another area that we really focus on, which I won't dig into in detail, is just constantly thinking about fan engagement, not in that 3 hours of a game window, but outside of it, because how people follow our sport and engage in it is so different today than it was 10 years ago, forget 35 or 45 years ago when I was a kid. And we spend a lot of time in that too.
I think it's